tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put them in the cage, never let out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. Right girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Happy Hanukkah, Stugotz.
Hey, Marco. How you doing? Surprise, surprise. This is Smokey Robinson. I know you didn't expect to hear from me. But I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jared. And they told me that you used to live in Detroit across the street from me. And gosh, that's beautiful. How you doing again? Nice talking to you again, I guess. But anyway, you're living in Vancouver now. And they wanted me to wish you happy Chanukah. I have no idea what Chanukah is, but happy Chanukah because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe, and enjoy Chanukah. Have a wonderful time.
It's great.
It will stand the test of time. It will be like some of the Friends doesn't hold up, but that is going to be funny 60 years from now.
Happy Chanukah.
I wanted to talk about a number of different things, Stugotz. I got so much on the plate. Like, really, we don't have enough time here. Max is containing us to just an hour, but we have so much to say today about so many different things. Princess Claire is here.
Yep.
Willow is here. Mm-hmm. Willow is here, jealous that Princess Claire is getting an awful lot of the attention that she used to get without any of the fear. We'll talk to Princess Claire in a little bit.
This has the feel of a Thanksgiving plate. Like, there's a lot on this. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just your Tuesday night at home dinner plate. This is Thanksgiving, and I might go up for seconds plate.
I'm stunned by the amount that we have to give the audience today in terms of creativity and clever, but I'm handcuffed at the very start of what it is that we're doing by a real and genuine unrest that we have that I need Jessica's help with as a union organizer, because Jeremy and Lucy have walked out. Like, the merch store is officially a problem. The stuff with Samson is a problem. And everybody wants their own merch to show their faces. And we have 3 new items. We do have 3 new items for Tony, for Lucy, and for Jeremy. But they're mad because Samson's sort of controlling how all of this goes out, and Tony's been professional enough to show up, but I have labor unrest. Like the Emmy winner and the 24th highest ranked college football analyst in the land, they want to be paid what they're worth, and we have new T-shirts, but Samson's being a problem.
¿Y quién está aquí? Me.
That's right.
A trabajar, papi.
You're a scab. Yes, you're breaking the solidarity of what is a mutiny here.
But it seems like the walkout has worked. I mean, they have stuff in the merch store now, right?
They want to know. Yeah, it's having stuff in the merch store is one thing. What is your percentage of the cut, even though you own some of the company? Like, that's the stuff that athletes deal with all the time and coaches deal with all the time. And I'm trying to run a labor-friendly company that allows dogs and kids and everybody eats, and things get in the way of that.
Your first mistake was hiring Samson then, I think.
Well, I keep telling people this is going to be a corporation with a soul, and they laugh in my face. And because that guy,
well, the soul is David Sampson.
Well, okay, but I'm going to have to force it on him. Is the thing, right? Because he doesn't understand that I'm trying. Like, he doesn't understand, and he's not the only one at this company who doesn't understand that I am insistent on building a company for and run by creatives, and so he says I can't go discount. I'm already doing everything in the store. This is the argument I'm walking in on. I'm already doing everything in the store at a 20% discount for the holidays. And I'm like, you need to pay Juju and Angel and everybody what they're worth, because I know we haven't been using that merch store right for 2 years. If I handed Juju that merch store and let him just sell things in the street, he would be cashing money all over the place. And we haven't been running it right. So I want Samson to run it with an artistic soul and something that feeds creatives. But he says he says that I'm already giving a 20% discount, so I can't give anymore. And I'm saying the promo code now for these 3 items and only these 3 items. It's only these 3. It's
3
not,
and only 3.
The rest of the store, Samson sucks, and the number 20 gets you 20% off. But New Greed 25, that passcode gets you 25% off on Tony's stuff, on Lucy's stuff, and on Jeremy's stuff, and just on that stuff. 25% off over Samson's objections. New Greed 25 is the passcode if you want to buy Tony's stuff, Lucy's stuff, or Jeremy's stuff, so that I can concentrate on doing the work here I want to do and not fighting over money anymore.
Smart man told me once, greed is good, Dano.
Smart man.
Yep.
Well, Samson,
Gecko, yeah.
Samson, as corporate greed is not. Corporate greed is not. Corporate greed is part of why this country is as bleeped as it is right now.
Do you know how hard it was for Samson to take it down 20%? He's
No.
never taken anything down 20%.
I think in terms of Samson, we should just start with a soul before we worry about artistic soul.
Well, I believe at some point we will sell David Samson's soul on that site. I believe we will
That
actually.
will be 30% off.
It's not
That
enough.
hasn't happened yet.
We have to. No, it's got to be the most valuable thing because it's the most treasured thing because no one's ever found one.
Rare.
I remember asking. We asked this question seriously one time of Drew Rosenhaus on Pardon the Interruption in 5 Good Minutes. Do you have a soul? Samson wants to sell stuff.
Was he stumped?
Yeah, he lied. He lied and said yes. That's what he did. Because of course, I have gotten into Hard Knocks. Man, it's been years since I've been into Hard Knocks. I got to be honest. But the Dolphins, because they're showing these different personalities, and I can't help but notice, oh my God, Flores didn't treat Tua like maybe these things can be fragile, and you don't tough guy everybody. Some people just need nurturing and love. And clearly, Mike McDaniel is like an ally here. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm in charge. I'm kind of goofy, but how can I help you? How can I be an administrative assistant here for you to get to your greatness? Like, clearly something there in that relationship. McDaniel has built something that was entirely built around Tua. Flores was building something that was entirely built around Flores. Like, it's like defense, and I don't trust my quarterback, and I'm going to humiliate people because I learned the way to do it in the Belichick way. Like, you got to tough these soldiers up. And McDaniel's like, hey, how can I help? And to see that play out in a way where he's kind of the age of his players, he's not that much older than them, and they see day in and day out, this is a person here who is going to help me, who cares about me. And then you're watching the audio, Stugotz, of Tyreek Hill shouting, I'm the best in the world.
Yep.
And then you hear the audio of Van Ginkel giggling like a 6-year-old with the football in his hands because he can't believe him and his white hair flowed on a stallion into the end zone with a pick six. And you hear his giggle sound like a 6-year-old. And that's where they make you fall in love with teams, by showing you the personalities and tying you to caring about the human beings.
I believe we deserve a little credit for how great this season of Hard Knocks has been. Right when we got to Max, this is one of the best seasons I've ever. And
No
we're
doubt,
from Miami.
yes.
We're a Miami show.
Yep.
The Dolphins are our team.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that
You okay there, Chris?
Getting emotional.
New Greed to 25
It's definitely us.
is the discount code for everyone here who thinks they deserve
But
more.
it makes me emotional because
Yeah,
we've
you're
partnered
choked
with
up.
Max.
Mhm.
The Dolphins are on Hard Knocks.
Yep.
There's just so much synergy in the world right now. And it's just, as a Max, can I call myself a Max employee? I'm kind of a Max employee. I mean, all my coworkers at Max, they did a great job with this thing. And I just want to commend them. I'll talk to them at the office party in a few weeks. Are you guys going?
I think a lot of people, Chris, and what you're going to be put in charge of if you end up becoming the executive producer of the show, like media people, because they don't understand sports business, are sleeping on the fact that we're on Max now and we just grabbed everything that Showtime does in sports. Like, they're just sleeping on it. And yeah, I mean, we've got some corporate assassins running our company, and we've been able to do this in the shadows for a while, fighting over merch dollars. But there is a play here that allows us to partner with everybody because we're not confined to just ESPN. And it's taken a long time to get here. But we are linked up to make a Super Bowl run with the Dolphins. I'd go under those circumstances. Under those circumstances, I would go to the Super Bowl.
If the Dolphins go, you go?
Yes, if the Dolphins make the Super Bowl, I would go to the Super Bowl, and I would make sure that our show, and God almighty, would that cost a lot, and make sure that every damn person on our show goes.
Goddamn right.
So
Let's go.
you're doing this in classic Meadowlark fashion, though, where we'll have to wait until the week before to find out if we're going,
Correct.
and then have to do
2 weeks?
everything
Do we get 2
at the
weeks
last
now?
Let's
minute.
just
get 2 weeks.
let's
yeah.
assume we'll be
Pro
there,
Bowl.
and let's book the trip now.
Yeah.
Let's book it.
And this is where corporate does need to help us, because I was promised when we left ESPN, you'll land at music festivals every 2 months. And I kept going in the same closet in a Clevelander studio. And yes, because now we work for the machine. DraftKings needs 3 hours a day. Not a lot of people make as much as we make. And if they don't kill us by the time we're done with this, we will have built a network for DraftKings that they paid us a lot of money, more than was reported, by the way, because we extended to build a network for them. And I don't think people understand some of the business elements of this, but let them sleep in the shadows, because it's an interesting time as media collapses. Hard Knocks, though, is legitimately good. I'm here to do an advertisement for Hard Knocks.
Small
Now,
part,
I know
thanks
it.
to us.
I know it has been for a long time. Stugotz.
No, it's great. It's always been great. But this team is special. This team is exciting. This team gets along. And your points about Mike McDaniel, they're great points, because he has that ability that he cares about people. He cares about the players that are playing for him. He's very aware of their situations, even inside of an important game. So when Van Ginkel, who is back in because Phillips got hurt, has that big pick six and has a big game, you could see McDaniel on the sideline feeling good, because he knows how much this means to him and his family.
But here's where it's tricky, Stugotz, and we get caught up in the myth building that we do around sports.
Right.
He cares about his players. Okay, that's a nice thing to say.
Dan, he at least gives off the appearance that he cares
Stugotz?
about his players, and that's a lot of the battle for a coach.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is giving off the appearance that you care, and players who have come through what they came through to get to where they are, they have to feel that care. It's not about saying it. And what I'm going to say to you right now, do I care about you? Yes or no?
Yes.
When money and disagreements about money are involved, do you feel cared for by me? By me?
Yeah.
By the company?
Mm-hmm.
Corporate gets in the way here on caring.
It's a good way of saying it, right?
The furnace that is football, and where Tyreek Hill and Tua and McDaniel have to live and rely on each other, care illustrates itself in video you're watching on audio on Hard Knocks, where Tyreek Hill comes back to the huddle filled with ego after that deep throw. And he's yelling, oh, hell no, don't ever do that to me again. Terrible throw. And he comes back to the sideline, and they show him that Tua was trying to move him away from the safety. He was trying to help him. It wasn't a terrible throw. And he apologized to Tua, and then he goes, and Tyreek came here to be the star, Stugotz. Not Kelsey, not Mahomes. He came here to be the star. He goes on social media and he says, hey, this is a bad take that was a bad throw. I thought it was a bad throw. They have the audio of me thinking it was a bad throw. I came back to the sideline. It was not a bad throw.
The best part about that is, and I do believe Tyreek in this instance, but he's been such a good teammate to Tua that I think he would do that even if it was a bad throw. Yeah. Like, I know we got the audio because of Hard Knocks. We actually hear in the moment that it is a good throw by Tua. But Tyreek has been, we talk about, like, wide receivers get a lot of slack for being divas and stuff like that. Tyreek has been the best teammate to Tua that I've ever seen from a wide receiver.
He's been a great teammate, period. I mean, if you're just basing it off what we're seeing on Hard Knocks, Tyreek Hill has been a great teammate.
It's not just a lot of slack. Tyreek Hill gets whatever it is that he deserves, he has gotten, that gets wiped away by winning in 2,000 yards, and we get forgetful because it feels real good to go to the Super Bowl and spend money in Vegas. Like, it's not
Meadowlark's money.
It's not some slack. I mean, Tyreek Hill is reinventing himself with the help of Hard Knocks, with Max and with success. And it's
with
a lot
us and Max.
It's a lot easier to get along with your teammates when everybody is winning and everyone is getting theirs. But as we've learned with the merch store, not always does everyone feel like they're getting theirs. So LeBatardAF.com is where it is. And if you want to support Tony, NewGreed25 is the code. Lucy, NewGreed25. Jeremy, I'd support him less. You know what? I should have raised his prices. He's getting too much success too early. The Emmy, I should have done to him what I did to Pablo. Nobody likes someone who gets that much success that fast.
Adnan was infuriated that he's an Emmy winner, Jeremy, because Adnan isn't. And it was one of those things because I was doing the thing Bradley Cooper said he'd give up the Oscar win for all his new movie for an Eagles Super Bowl.
Right.
And I was like, Adnan, what would, because he's an Eagles fan. I was like, what's something in your world you would, he's like, I want the Emmy. I want that Emmy. And then I was like, how angry does it make you that Jeremy has one? And he's like, I hate it. And he's a nice man, and he's ripping Jeremy.
The nicest man.
I think if Hard Knocks wins any Emmys, we should all get one as
we will.
people taking credit. And also, if this show gets any Emmys now that we're on Max, we should also all get one.
We were nominated for one when our halftime, our national championship watch-along thing where I was orange juggling. We got
doing
nominated
halftime
for that.
Yeah.
Well said.
I wonder why you didn't win.
Jeremy won a state Emmy, though. That's kind of like lower on
It's
the
a bit
tiers
different,
of
yeah.
Don't poop
Emmys,
on his
yeah.
Emmy.
It's not a national Emmy, though. I mean, it's...
Wow, you're pooping
I'm
on
just
his
saying.
Emmy.
I'm just saying all Emmys aren't the same.
I
That's
didn't know
all
the
I'm
difference.
saying. Yeah.
You wouldn't say it to his face, though.
Of course I would. I called him a magician. Of course I would.
Tony, I want to get to a couple of things here with you because we have spent the week not getting in the local hour to something I wanted to get to for 2 weeks now. These jingles that you're obsessed with. You claimed the Marooney, the local commercial, the Marooney ad that sounded like a Ghostbusters song. You claimed that was the best jingle ever. Then the next week you claimed another jingle was the best jingle
Sands
ever.
Enchanted Forest.
Now what? Now where are we? You have
We've
another
got
one?
3 new jingles, Dano, because what I like to do is show the people that haven't been here that long, Jess, Lucy, Jeremy, people that didn't grow up in like Miami proper, that didn't get these kind of jingles. Roy's an old head. He knows every jingle from all time, even in other markets, which is crazy. But I want to bring the audience a piece of our Miami. And these are things that we grew up with. And I know Chris has already pre-listened to some of these.
I love them all.
They're great. So fire off your favorite one, Chris.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm building up. I'm doing my least favorite
Tony,
first.
what kind of amateur are you? Don't do the favorite one. You go and
Exactly.
you build up drama.
Build,
I
man.
was letting Chris be a
How
professional. Dano.
many? You weren't letting him. You were telling him how to do the job poorly.
Here's my third favorite.
Take your family, go with your friends to good times where fun never ends. Be there. The fair, it's all there. The fair, be there. The fair, be there.
The Dade County Fair and Exposition, March 3rd.
Yes, you got a finger in the air from Roy.
That's right. Elephant ears, Dan.
Stugotz, were you in the room when we talked to Claire and we asked her what are some of the favorite things that Daddy does at home, and she says he laughs a lot, and all of us stared at her like she lied and was your daughter instead. Like,
Yes, I was shocked as well. Yeah.
The room was like, what?
Dad laughs a lot at home. And I was super confused by that. That is not one of my favorites. It should not be on the bronze medal stand.
Agreed.
Give me the silver.
Florida Center for Cosmetic Surgery. Just one look is worth 1,000 words.
That's when
good.
jingles were jingles, Dano.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that flourish at the end. We got to play that one again. The flourish at the end.
All right.
Florida Center for Cosmetic Surgery. Just one look is worth 1,000 words.
Before you get to the number one jingle locally,
That was goosebumps.
Exciting, man.
can you guys, when you said, you made me laugh, Tony, when you said of Roy, he knows all the jingles in all the markets, video, can you please, as quickly as you can, just find crappy sports commercials in other markets that involve athletes? Because we could play that for months and we can make local regional advertising that uses the professional star. That market is so ripe to make fun of. Just find me a couple real quick before you play this jingle, because Washington's famous for them. They just have these crappy athletes do crappy commercials
Where they have to say their name in it.
for
hey,
crappy
look, it's
things. No, that's the highest. That's
Right.
Brian Arakpo, Pro Bowler, who's not a Pro Bowler.
Cupcakes.
No, that's the best of them. I'm talking about like poor local guys who the car dealer, Jose, says, hey, get your camera out there. Get Duncan Robinson, sing a song with him. No, I'm talking about the guerrilla-style Miami shit commercials is what I'm talking about. The number one jingle, according to Tony.
Sea lions and seals. Learn about stingrays and all about eels.
Florida residents, February is free annual pass month at Miami Seaquarium. Get a free annual pass with every regular admission. Pay once, come back the rest of the year for free.
Miami Seaquarium.
Diana Russini is going to join us in 10 minutes. Tony, this is what I'm putting on your lap. If you want New Greed 25 to be something that sells, what I would like is a commercial for Miami Seaquarium that has that happy music, but also a manatee has been stuck in a 4x4 cube with mildew for 19 years too long. Like, I want to do a commercial for Miami Seaquarium that isn't quite that happy.
We could do that.
Make sure you do that.
You're putting that on his lap?
Yes.
Can you put me on his lap?
We can do it together, Stu.
Actually, yes, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I will put you on his lap right now.
Or the bucket, maybe.
Yes.
He's standing.
Yes, we do all have to go to the bucket, so let's do that now. Let's do it as fast as we can here.
I can do it from Tony's lap?
Yes, do the bucket from Tony's lap.
Reaper's moving a little slow today. Come on, Reaper.
Estás
You got a
lento,
hard
Reaper.
out,
Estás
buddy.
lento.
Find bucket and death.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's instantaneous. That hasn't. I'm sorry, Jess. So what? How much is in the fine bucket? Not very much, right?
It's only my second L of the season, too.
I am sorry about that, but these are winning
Wait,
positions.
it's empty.
Someone stole the money from the fine. That can't be empty. I've been putting money in there. It's only me. No one else is putting money in there.
I've been taking it.
No one else is putting money. There were at least $50 in there. There were. I've been putting money. I leave it here on the console.
The thief is back?
The thief is back.
Tony, who you got?
I've got the instant putback Carolina Panthers.
That is always a putback.
Keep an eye on them. They're both cheaters. Keep an eye on them, please. Keep an eye on them.
The Reaper is like locked in Falcon's eye right here looking at me. Eagle's eye, whichever bird you like. The Tennessee Titans, which
Heartbeat
is probably
Eagle.
not better.
Titans are a 13.5-point dog against the Dolphins. Monday night.
Watch party.
Monday night at our watch party. Chris Cody, give the people the details on our watch party on Monday night. It's going to be Dolphins and Titans. I love that you just looked to Roy and said, what are the details? Go ahead, Stugotz. Reach into the bucket.
We're going to the Dolphin Mall, Vivo, the Miller Lite stage. Our friends at Miller Lite Dollar Shave Club, come hang out with us this Monday night. Titans, Dolphins. We're going to be there. We're going to be having a fun time. Hopefully the Cyclones get a win before that.
All right, well done. Am I picking for Billy Gill here? What are we doing for Billy? Am I picking for Billy?
No, just go.
Okay, I'm going. I like to rummage. Oh, I'm on Tony's lap.
Oh, you got to hurry up, dude.
I got the Carolina
Wow.
Panthers.
All right.
5.5-point dog. Let's
Nope.
go, Stugotz. We got to rush this. We got to rush this. We
I
gotta do it
know,
quick.
I'm rushing. Oh, I got the Bears.
Max has new rules. We got to get in and out of here.
Okay.
Bears are
run over here.
3.5-point favorite at home, or dog against the Lions. You got the Bears at home against the Lions.
I have the Dolphins keeping it.
All right.
Nice. Head to head with Tony.
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys are 3.5
Eagles.
point favorite at home against the Eagles. At home against
Put
the
it back.
Eagles.
I don't have time. Let's go.
No, you have time. Do you want to put it back? Do you want to put it back?
I'm keeping it. Let's go.
All right.
I would keep that.
It's a 3.5 point favorite. Oh, the Reaper. The Reaper works hard around here. He's got
I'm sorry. I still can't get over the fact that I pulled the fine bucket and it's gone.
Sorry.
I mean,
What?
I'm legit. Look, Jessica, I know a lot of people don't know what's a bit and what's not a bit around here. Someone is stealing the money. That's my money. Well, everyone's stealing the money, but in that case, someone is actually stealing the money. I've got the Colts. The Colts are a 1-point dog at the Bengals. I'm not gonna.
Brownie looked kinda
I'm not
good.
gonna be scared.
Oh, you're not going to be scared?
Wow.
Whoa. You're a bigger man than I am,
Be
literally.
scared of one game from the Bengals. I thought their coach is 4-28-1 when Burrow doesn't play. Now he's 5-28-1.
Oh, and he's 1-0 in the last game he played without Burrow. I mean,
Jessica, someone stole the money.
The bottom is gone. This is ridiculous.
We've hit the bottom. We've hit rock bottom. What a badass this woman is.
Yep.
God, I am happy to see her. It has been too long. I don't think people understand how hard her job is fighting for information in the sewer of football, and everybody wants to stop her and get out of here. We don't want to help you. And she left ESPN, Stugotz. Like, I've admired Diana for a long time, but the move she just made, NFL insider for The Athletic, to leave the comfort of the corporate entity to bet on herself, her information, and her ability to do this job.
Standing
Great job,
a
Diana.
standing
Diana.
ovation.
Stop. Sit down, you whack job.
It seems like this week was unpleasant for you, Diana, and it's nice to see you, but you reported something, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers thinks that you represent and we represent parasites who go to ruin Zach Wilson for our entertainment because the information's valuable. The truth is valuable. A lot of giant contracts these days where the information is. Diana is paid to go get it. She's really good at it. It's really hard to get. So you report Zach Wilson reluctant to play, and everyone calls you a liar, and you mess up the Jets, and then Aaron Rodgers goes on ESPN and makes more news out of it.
The Jets have messed up the Jets.
Yeah, but then what happens next is my friend gets swallowed, and it becomes turbulent and awful. So what's your week been like? And thank you for being with us. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the intro. I don't get embarrassed much. You guys have known me a long time. I'm like horrified hearing any of that, but thank you for all the support and love. And I never even thought of it the way you described it. So The Athletic has been tremendous. I wish I spoke with you, Dan, before I took the job as a writer. No one told me it will be the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. Writing is really challenging, but really rewarding as well. And this is probably a really simple, basic statement, but I'm really happy. I love what I'm doing now. And it took me 40 years to be able to really feel that and say that and express it. So it's really been a great 3 months already at The Athletic. But as for my week is trash. It's horrendous. I live in the New York market, so I'm in the vortex of it all. So I get to hear it. And then also hear from Jets fans when I drop my kids off at daycare. And look, when you've been doing this a long time and you've become a credible person covering the league, you hope that because of all the past stories you've done, you've built this trust with the audience and with the fans. But I realized over the last few days, it's not that they don't believe the report is accurate. They know the report is accurate. The story is just unbelievable. And I think that's where issue.
Is it though? Is it? Is it unbelievable?
A guy not wanting to play quarterback for his team?
For that team. For that, like, look, I think the Jets have reached the breaking point.
Zach Wilson.
They're the Jets. They've been bad longer than he's been bad. Like, that Zach Wilson wouldn't trust that organization to not get him decapitated? Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that I've been, I've had tons of conversations since the story broke, but also even before we put the story out. And I wasn't getting a lot of, what do you mean he doesn't want to play? I mean, from some of the old school football people that I talked to, yeah, of course. It's like, no, he's going to play. Like, he'll figure it out. I was getting a lot of, why would he? Of course he's not going to want to go out there and play. So I think Zach Wilson, no matter how you look at it, has just been put through the ringer this year with the Jets. And his entire career in New York has been really hard. And, when you hear Aaron Rodgers go on TV talk about why anyone would want to share that about Zach, and then, of course, why would the media, and he obviously pointed me out, why would I ever feel okay and comfortable putting out a story about a player when it makes them look so bad? Unfortunately, it's just my job to uncover the story and uncover the news. And when the number 2 overall pick doesn't want to play or is hesitant or reluctant, whatever word the Jets want us to say or are comfortable with the world knowing about at this point, that's a story to me. it's a story. I feel bad for Zach. You guys know me. I have a heart. I'm not this like cold, mean witch that just wants to piss on the Jets organization. That's not my nature. But this is a story. And here they are now consumed with it. And they're off to face the Texans, CJ Stroud, and a really good number 2 overall pick.
You don't have to apologize. You shouldn't apologize. You don't have to explain what it is that you do and the job that you do. You do it well. But I am wondering, because you mentioned Jet fans are getting after you. What have you heard from Jet fans? I want to hear some of this.
I don't think you do.
I hope you get hit by a car. There's been a lot of traffic outside of my house. I don't know if it's Jets fans, but it seems very busy. I think people are just, they want to blame someone, and I understand it. But at the end of the day, if I was a fan and there was reporters, Zach Rosenblatt from The Athletic and me covering a team and being able to share everything that's happening and giving you the truth, I don't know. I would appreciate it. But this isn't like me. I'm not coming on here, guys, talking to you like, oh, I feel bad for me. My life's so hard. People are so mean to me. The best part about reporting the truth is you're actually indifferent about it. I'm working on 2 other stories now. Like I've moved past it. Because I stand by my reporting on it. I know all the people I talk to. Aaron Rodgers knows I know. Zach Wilson knows I know. Robert Saleh knows I know. Every person there knows I know. And it was up to them to deflect it. And I also understand why they did that as well.
Diana, I subscribe to Any Pub is Good Pub. And this feels like a great week for you.
Agreed.
I mean,
yes.
I can only imagine how many views your tweets have got.
I go the other
week.
way on that. I would say that this is one of the most horrible weeks of her life. work life, just because of how unpleasant this stuff can get.
Yeah, well, the problem is I have other stories out there that I've been writing and working on, and I published a story. My first cover story for The Athletic was on the Carolina Panthers and the dysfunction in that organization. And I worked with my colleague Joe Persons on it, and we spent so much time talking to over 24 sources on this story to describe what's going on there. So I had the Jet story Monday, the Panther story Tuesday, and I reported also that Roger Goodell doesn't like the tush push. And then the NFL came out yesterday and said, well, actually, Roger's never really publicly expressed his opinion about it. So I'm like 3 for 3 this week. I'm feeling like I'm out here reporting truth and nobody wants to own it. But this is the job. And eventually, Dan, as you know, it all always comes out. So I'm now sitting in this spot where I'm just like, someone just own it. So until then, I look forward to, and I hope you guys follow along when all 3 of these stories come out. Eventually the truth does, and you can say, but no one ever remembers that part, right?
But if you had to choose one, good week or bad week, you can only choose one. I know it's got nuance. Good week or bad week?
It was a great week. I love telling stories. I love getting information. I love sharing. I'm close to getting a divorce. Like my husband is so over it because I think what part of the job is, you guys know that people don't get is, it's not like you get a scoop, you get like a text message from someone, you put it out, and then then you go out to dinner with your family. That's not how it works. It's an all day thing. So I took a call the other night at 11:30. I was in bed and I'm whispering to this source of mine while my husband is kicking me under the sheets, because he's basically saying like, enough. And also I'm trying to sleep. I have a job. Our kids are getting up in a few hours. So there's just like a human element to the collection of information as well that I'm balancing. And I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. And
that's chaos.
Crazy.
That's all.
But that's reporting, whispering to a source in the middle of the night.
But people are impressed by what Woj and Schefter do, and it doesn't feel like that. It's not a 2 and a 1-year-old hanging from your ears while you talk to God knows who at 11:30, and your husband's kicking you.
Children know. It's almost like the higher ranked source it is, the louder their scream is. It's like if it's an owner, Michael, my 2-year-old. that's when he decides he wants to scream on top of his lungs, "Oh, Christmas tree." Or yesterday, I don't know why he's in this phase where he likes to, his daycare teacher's Hispanic, so he loves to speak Spanish. So he's screaming "Hola" at the top of his lungs yesterday. And I'm like, okay, like we're not in Little Havana. We'll do this later, but mommy needs to talk to this person because this is gigantic. So they don't care. All they want to do is eat their pizza and watch Paw Patrol and unfortunately and my husband and I talk about this all the time. For whatever reason, everything breaks in the witching hour, and all those parents know out there that have young kids. There's this witching hour between 4 and 7 where kids just lose their goddamn minds, and that's when everyone decides they want to call me and tell me their story.
Do you have any fear that one of your children's first words will be Zach Wilson or the Jets?
No, my fear is what my son did the other day, which he took my phone and charged. So you know how in Apple Pay you can charge people and give them money and ask them for money? They charged a very, very respected general manager in the NFL $50 at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's great.
Ethics violation there.
In which that GM, and this is why I will fight for this GM to the day I die, wrote back to me, "Hey, is everything okay? Do you need money?" And I'm
What did Belichick say? I mean...
Is everything okay? He's gonna fall for a scam and Venmo you $50 because he thinks someone's abducted you at 5 o'clock in the morning.
First thought was like, whatever you need, Di. Like, I didn't know it was that bad. Like, you checked on a roster move I made the other day. We went, like, the last text I sent him was, "Do you think you'll probably wind up cutting this guy?" And then, like, 3 days later, it's a $50 charge at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's hard. And I said, "So sorry, that was Mikey." And he's like, but he wrote back. He's like, "Is he all right?" I'm like, "He's fine. He's 2. He doesn't use it now."
He's just pushing buttons.
I am thrilled for her. I urge you to follow what she's doing at The Athletic. And just because, like, I imagine perhaps, Diana, you look at what's happening around here and it looks to you like it's not actually falling apart because of the contrivances of television. Behind you, you have a very credible thing here as you've left ESPN NFL Insider for The Athletic. But that purple thing that you're sitting in front of, if you were to pull that down, what would that reveal to us about the professional surroundings around you as you've left ESPN and embarked on your own new journey of getting information?
Please be in a closet. Please
having
be in a
to
closet.
be on television.
It's new journey, old journey. Remember, this is what I used to do.
Nice. There it is.
I'm literally hiding my old life. I've moved on completely. This is me.
Look at her.
That's great.
Next time someone checks in on me, just send them a picture of this. I'm doing well. How's balancing being a full-time insider with 2 under 2? How's your marriage? Do you have any friends?
That's great. We'll end there. Thank you, Diana.
So good.
Meanwhile, Stugotz texts me, "Want to catch up?" I don't have time.
Hey, Marco, how you doing? Surprise, surprise. This is Smokey Robinson. I know you didn't expect to hear from me, but I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jared, and they told me that you used to live in Detroit across the street from me, and gosh, that's beautiful. How you doing again? Nice talking to you again, I guess. But anyway, you're living in Vancouver now, and they wanted me to wish you happy Chinooka. I have no idea what Chinooka is, but happy Chinooka because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe, and enjoy Chinooka. Have a wonderful time.
A totally understandable mistake. Like the first time I saw the word Hanukkah, I did not know it was Hanukkah. It was disorienting to me. So
you thought it was Chinooka?
I didn't know what it was. I'm saying whenever it is that I saw it for the first time without knowing, if you don't know what Hanukkah is, if you just don't know what it is, and you see it spelled that way, I understand how it is you'd arrive at the C's not silent. Totally. But a story that I couldn't believe, that seemed too impossible to believe, is that a 6-6 Bills coach on the hot seat, in deep trouble because we all know his team is good, and somebody's going to get blamed. It already swallowed up Dorsey. Buffalo's never won shit. They expect to win something this year, and they're going to blame somebody. Like, Buffalo gets a lot of regional identity from that team, and it doesn't usually have these kinds of expectations.
It actually started with the defensive coordinator, and McDermott took those responsibilities over, and he's calling the plays now, and they're not playing that well, and then he fired Ken Dorsey.
But, okay, so Stugotz, I don't want to actually talk about Pittsburgh, New England last night. Doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
Same.
That game does not deserve our commentary.
Kind of a good game.
Yeah.
Sneaky over.
Those teams. I shouldn't say the game.
Overhit at half.
Okay, we are going to talk about it.
Little cover, Dana.
Belichick. Wait a minute.
What happened?
You bet the Steelers.
I did not bet the Steelers. I know normally I would bet the Steelers. A home favorite, -6 against a bad Patriot team.
I don't believe that that's how you bet.
Little underdog.
Okay. I'm going to start making you do these things publicly because that is not your betting. That is not generally the way that you go on this. But how did this story get reported? Because if I give you hot seat controversies, like what do I need to put by a coach from 4 years ago to make him look like just an intergalactic jackass? This story, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this can't be true.
Yeah, this was from Ty Dunn in Go Long, and it was an anecdote about something that McDermott said in 2009, which is that he cited that the 9/11 hijackers were a group of people who were able to get on the same page to orchestrate the attacks to perfection, and then he started asking specific players in the room, what tactics do you think they used to come together? And then one of the young players was like, TSA. Said that was their biggest ops. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Because Claire came in the room, and right before, we were like, should Claire be in the room when we're talking about 9/11? And then I panicked. But anyways, he said that the 9/11 hijackers were like an example of good organization, which is the problem. Don't do that.
It was back in 2019. These guys are doing a deep dive on his coaching style and his coaching philosophy, and they unearthed that little nugget. He said he apologized for it to his players back in 2019, but when you really read it, it makes you wince a little bit, and it really makes you question his judgment. It does.
This can't be real. This is a ball sack.
Oh, no,
thing.
it's real.
No, this is a ball sack thing. You guys are getting ball sacked. There's no way that a coach said, you know who did good organizing? The 9/11 hijack. That can't be true. I'm sorry, guys. You guys getting ball sacked. I'm sorry.
Give me the time frame on this again. When did he do that? Why is it being reported now? Because it's not a sentiment, oddly enough, that I haven't heard before. Bill Maher lost his politically incorrect TV show, a show called Politically Incorrect, because he played with the semantics of those hijackers. You can call them many things, but you can't call them cowards. They gave up their life in the principle of something, and he lost his show because of the heat that came down on him. I understand. If we're going to make this so much about the military, football's the military. We were talking about Zach Wilson before. Would he want to go out there? Yeah, a lot of soldiers want to be out there. And a lot are like, man, I don't have any other options. I got to be out here fighting for my country. And if you ask them honestly, is this in service of your country? No, I need a job. And it's scary, like all this stuff. And 9/11 obviously is not something to be joked about. But in terms of football mentality, hey, you got to be willing to die for your job. You got to be willing to be so with your teammates united that you're willing to fly into a building. Like the mentality of football, the stupidity of saying it is one thing, but thinking that way, think about the difference between that and what McDaniel is doing with Tua. Think of the difference that's happening at the top of that division in the AFC East, where they've got a quarterback we all know is good. And the coach is doing dumbass 9/11 analogies because we've all got to believe so much that we're willing to go to war with another country and give our lives in order to make sure that Josh Allen is 7-5.
There's so many other things he could have said, too, for like Band of Brothers. We got to come together. We're an army platoon, anything like that, that could get the point across without invoking a national tragedy.
So you're asking the timeline again. I will tell you, he said it back in 2019 during training camp, and he apologized immediately afterwards. This is according to him.
And so what's the blowback on it? Like, what is happening to McDermott? I mean, surely the internet is flaming him, correct? Like, and what's happening in mainstream media? Is it being covered as a giant controversy because a coach who's already in trouble did the dumb thing?
I mean, their report is on the front page, the homepage of ESPN.com. I saw it on SportsCenter last night. I mean, you have a coach whose job is in jeopardy, who people are, digging around. They're doing stories on him, and that came up. It's certainly, you have to question that as a head coach, as a guy who's in charge of an entire organization. You have to question the judgment of Sean McDermott to go to an analogy like that at any point in his career.
But what if I tell you that the analogy, even if he doesn't say it out loud, that the mentality of it pollutes a lot of them? Like, they think they're at war, Stugotz. They do it all the time. Like, they're not, but they kind of are.
Dan, there's a reason he chose the wrong analogy. As Tony said, there's a reason he apologized immediately after saying it.
I know, but I'm talking to you about is the mentality. Yeah, you can disguise it and deliver it another way, but I'm telling you that's what Zach Wilson is living under. Salah's got the commercials. He needs to protect his job. And, what do you mean you don't want to play, Zach Wilson? What do you mean you don't want to play? Yeah, don't want to go to war. Have you seen our offensive line? Does that make me a coward, scared, or you're just not very good at your job and I don't trust you, coach?
Yeah, but point to another example in sports. Point anywhere else but where you pointed. Don't say, hey, team, I want you to be organized the way the terrorists were on 9/11.
Agreed.
That's it. It's an easy stance, Dan.
Stugotz?
Yep.
Yes.
Bold.
Yes, Stugotz.
Way to get out there.
Thank you.
You worked there all week?
Yeah. The story just broke yesterday. So
Yes, you are correct. The starting point on this should be, put it on the poll. Hey, coach.
Easiest stance I've ever taken.
Yeah, don't use the terrorists for inspiration. Yeah. Yes or no? Yes, obviously. Thank you, Stugotz.
You got
absolutely
it. Well, you seem
nothing.
confused by it.
No, I'm not confused by it.
Timelines, all of it.
Well, that part I am confused by because it's a controversy today on something he said years ago. Who did that to him? Like somebody did that to him.
Now you're asking the right questions, Dano.
Isn't that obvious? Like someone wanted to make McDermott look like a fool. How do I do it? I report the single dumbest story you've ever seen in your life.
I told you, they're doing a deep dive into his coaching philosophy, and they unearthed this fact. I mean, crazy.
Let's put that on the poll. Let's also recap some polls as we end our week here. The polls are brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
Transition.
Epic razors, epically affordable. Find them in stores or online.
Deep dives are terrifying. I mean, they are. They really are. Sorry.
Tony, what do we got today?
The cup that South Florida values more, Flanagan's or Stanley. And obviously, Flanagan's, the one for ribs, 92.6%.
Yours is better than his. Your Zagacki is better than his Zagacki.
Where is Mike McDaniel on the MVP odds? Yes, 63%. As opposed to no, 36%. Again, where is Mike McDaniel on the MVP odds? Yes or no?
You trying to be Zagacki as a serious conservative broadcaster. Go ahead. Do this. Go ahead. Do this seriously.
Claire loves the polls.
Calling yourself a legacy fan? Dan, I don't know if I can repeat this. Douche.
Oh, no.
92.9%.
Wow.
No douche, 7%.
Earmuffs.
Sorry, Claire.
Douche wins there by astounding margin. Reagan margins. Is Popstar, never seen it, one of the greatest comedies of the last 10 years? 65% of the audience says no.
Thank you.
Roy, take her headset away or hold her ears or something. This is bad parenting at this point as a show. As a show, not you, as a show. She shouldn't be hearing some of this.
Last poll here.
And
She'll
he's
say it
gonna be
eventually.
So mad at you.
Brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, you are absolutely right. She's gonna kill me.
Can you find at least 2% of helpful advice on the internet? 70.6% of the audience says yes. Dan, those are the bowls brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
Claire, what are your favorite three things about your dad?
That he laughs
He
a
laughs?
lot.
Wow. What else?
Oh wow.
What else? I need
Peeking.
2 more things. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
You have anything else? What else is good about your daddy?
That's it.
That he plays with me.
All right. Yeah, I love cuddle time.
The best.
All right, Claire, you are the princess, and you're always the princess.
Penalty box.
And you run this place. Penalty box.
What? 2 minutes, Claire.
I'm sorry.
Get out of
I'm
here,
sorry.
Claire. Say
Claire,
By herself?
Claire,
I mean,
I'm
No,
sorry.
I have to walk in.
That's fine. You can walk her. You
Like
get out
crossing
here
the street.
too. She's your responsibility.
She deserves it, though.
Claire, come on, Claire. You came in here and you belched a screaming sound, and I need some professionalism around here.
it's also a $5 fine.
She was better in the meeting.
I'm trying
Someone's
to run a
gonna steal
media
it.
company here, Claire. Get out of here.
Poor kid. Sorry, I cut you off.